Oh, shit. Oh, that hurt.
Man.
Oh, 30 is really tough, dude.
Oh, man. If you didn't see that and you're listening, we just jumped in
We just
on
jumped
a
on the couch.
totally different. We're just changing it up.
And we're not even familiar with these couches, so a certain part of this couch just hurt my rib.
That was the first time I've ever sat on this even.
Right.
And we just jumped.
Well, look, guys, welcome to the Entrepreneur Experience, another awesome series coming here with you today. And I'm excited today, dude. Like, we changed the environment. This will probably be a one-off every once in a while. We still like the dark room with the leather chairs and stuff like that. But,
Yep.
yeah, this one's fun.
Because we're working on renovating it a little more and scaling it up. So that's exciting.
Yeah, it'll be exciting when we get a bigger room.
That too, yes.
You guys don't know it, but behind that camera, it's a storage room. Like, there's a bunch of storage.
Yeah.
But it's cool. Like, good equipment. It's not storage of junk. It's like all the camera stuff.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
It's
Maybe
all good.
utilize the space a little better for myself, but
It's all good.
Anyways, thank you guys so much for being here and being with us on this journey.
Mm-hmm.
And let me know if you're the kind of person that actually has been listening to every single episode out there, or if you're the kind of person that's like, oh, what's this one? And you just want to skip ahead and choose based on the title, or
We're
is
cool
it?
either way.
Yeah,
We are cool either way.
we're just happy to have you no matter what. So keep on keeping on, even though this isn't the ending.
Right. So I guess I should
Right.
say stay strong, right?
No, you don't have to.
Okay, didn't do it. So, hey guys, look, today's topic is really about leadership and building a team. Like, I mean, we're gonna like bring all that in together. And the reason why we thought that was relevant was, number one, you just actually brought somebody onto your team, or at least you're toying with that
Yes.
and playing around with it. And I'm also looking to add to my team as well. And it's funny because a lot of my clients are looking to do that as well. Like, that has been something very, very like universal with my clients. So that's kind
Really
of cool that
interesting.
when we talked about this subject and we decided, it's like, yeah, it kind of makes sense.
Yep.
It kind of makes sense. So
First and foremost, I'm a believer, and so I try to listen to the voice of God as much as possible. And something that I feel like He's been trying to say to me is let go. And
Dude,
it's
like,
some
of
things
what?
like things within the business, and like I've said that I've surrendered the business, but then there's times that you just start hanging on, try to be in control of certain things and certain processes. But it's
I never deal with that.
You don't.
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay.
I do.
You're a good actor because you had me. I didn't.
I
detect
could like
that.
literally be a control freak in my business and forget that God is in control of everything. Like, I'm a human. It's not that I try, or sometimes when I want to do something my way, sorry, Lord, I'll ignore the voice of God sometimes, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Or like try to like give myself an excuse as to why I think this is the right way versus what God's telling me.
Oh yeah.
Do you ever
And
do
there's
that?
and there's a difference of like sometimes I wrestle with, is this what I think God is saying or what I want God to be saying, or is this actually just what He's saying? That's a hard thing to wrestle,
Yeah.
dude. And
I wish that God was just so audible.
yeah,
But I think that's literally the reason why He commands us to have faith
right.
and to build a relationship with Him so that we can know His voice
Yep.
better.
Because faith is what, in literal definition, it's just believing something that's unseen.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. So
and in many ways, you can see something within your business without actually seeing it.
right.
And so that's part of you have faith in your own business and all that. So just to put it back into those terms. But for me, the let go phrase was like, man, I need to just detach myself a little bit more. And God has been like, so that way I can listen, because I am like very, very, what do you call it? Where I'm convicted that God is sending me people for a reason, because
Right.
that's what's happening.
Oh,
I'm not,
interesting.
I didn't put any job postings or anything out there,
Okay.
but I'm getting these like certain responses of some people that just want to work with me. And I'm like, well, I'm not in a spot to be hiring,
Right.
but what if we could build into a position
Yeah.
and like start with per project or like here and there once a week or something like that. And then the more that I do this, then that means I can bring in more jobs to then
Right.
do more. And I felt like I just really needed to take a leap.
Mm.
That's where I'm coming from.
Yeah. I think a lot of the people wanting to work with you is also a result of the relationships that you decided to build and invest in, and also the quality of what you do and like how open you are with really just trying to help people.
Yeah.
So I think that a lot of that has to do with, that genuine heart that you have to help and to build quality relationships. Because if anybody knows Jared, you're not just like a transactional person, right? Like
No.
you value building a relationship.
Yes.
And you say yes or no based off of what type of relationship do you see this like being for you and your family.
Yep.
And I know because we've had conversations about that. So I think that's kind of cool that, people based off of the years that you've been doing that, now you're starting to see certain fruits come out of that, which is people actually want to work with you. And we've been talking about that during your coaching sessions as far as like, who's the next hire?
Who's the next? Is it assistant? Is it an editor? And it was like kind of like, dude, okay, what's your vision? Oh, my vision is to have same day turnaround. That's part of it. It's like, does an assistant help me with that? No, an assistant is going to give me more work to where I'm going to have more ceiling, I mean, they wouldn't only give more work. They would relieve work too. But I would see an assistant as like someone that's going to help. And you tell me like your experience too, but they would be helping with some of the busy work and all that. But I've got this new CRM and now I'm like, I feel a little bit more capable holding this spot and getting closer to my vision and deciding to go editor first.
Right.
And then bring in an assistant later.
I don't think you're wrong either way. It's just really what you value. Because when we talked about it, like an assistant will take so much busy stuff off your plate that you could possibly turn these things around in a day because you have the skill to do that. But an editor will also allow you to turn things around in a day if they're skilled enough to do it.
Yeah.
So I don't, it's like the egg and a chicken. Like who comes first? What?
Yeah.
You just make a freaking decision.
And that's what
right?
you're like, just pick one.
Yeah.
You're like, just pick one. And so I think God's like that a lot too. He's like, dude, just pick a direction. Just go.
Well, the Bible verse that really has been speaking to me lately is, make your plans, but God is going to direct your path.
Oh,
which basically says, look, if you are within His will and you feel like it, and you know that you're acting according to that, like you have to have some faith that you are within God's will. If you're doing certain things, like it's okay to dream, it's okay to put goals together, it's okay to plan something, but just know that God has the authority, or give God the authority to change things up for you. Because He's not always going to give you that final picture. I think if we always knew the final outcome, we would screw everything up. We'd try to get there faster if we liked it, or try to avoid it if we didn't like it.
If I saw where I was like 5 years ago, I would probably freak out.
Yeah.
Even just 5 years ago.
I don't think we can even fathom where God's going to take us, because there's so much we have to learn, so much we have to mature in, so much we have to develop.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. This is turning into a sermon today.
Yeah.
We're just going to call this podcast series Pastor Time with Jared and Joe.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know. I'm just
Are we shifting, or are we talking about team?
We're going to talk about team.
Okay.
Well,
But
I think you were
can
leading
segue
up
that.
into it, like basically like testifying of how this is working out. So,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yep.
I love
And-
talking about God. He's awesome.
And that's part of the thing too, is like, I've never considered myself like called to be a pastor or anything. However, I know that I am called to be a pastor to certain people that God has around me in a shepherding kind of sense. And that's why I'm also really I'm excited to get to building a team and all that. And I get to do that at my church too.
Yeah.
So I'm the coach at our church.
I was like in ministry when I built my first team with my first business that I had the chance to build a team with, right? This is 2014 or 15. And like I was like, okay, I'm in ministry. I play the guitar. I play worship. I'm a youth leader, all this kind of stuff. But then when I started building a team, I felt like I was like, this is the ministry that I want you to nurture, is the people that I put in your path. And those are even people that work for me. Now, I couldn't like sit there and like witness to them. You know, it's a professional setting and everything like that. But the light, the example that I set, how I did things, you know, was a direct reflection of the relationship I have with Christ. And we're called to glorify God.
Yeah.
So is our life glorifying Him? So I was really like intentional about like, okay, when I'm upset, how do I handle it?
Yeah.
You know?
Or if you do mess up, then it's like, how do you come back and resolve it?
Exactly. because I messed up a lot.
It happens. We're all human, right?
Yes.
Isn't that a song? We're all human after all, or something.
There
like
is a
that.
song like that. So I have a mic like this. I feel like singing because I used to sing a lot. So
Oh yeah, do it.
I don't want to.
All right, here's the beat.
Dude, so a month ago, I was like, a month or two, I think I had COVID.
You think?
But like my chest is like for the last 2 months feels like it's imploding. So
Oh man,
I've been coughing like crazy, but like I'm totally fine.
that's interesting.
So when I start singing, like it's like,
oh
yeah. So
there is this lingering thing just kind of going around, but
yeah. All right. So let's
Anyways.
talk about team leadership, all that kind of stuff. Like you're building a team. So now the next thought that you have is exciting, but oh crap. Right? Like, how do I lead these people? How do I get the result from them that I need to get so that way I can accomplish my goals, right? Like, I feel like, and comment if you remember that first hire that you had, right? Like the feelings that you were having, the thoughts in your mind,
that would be a good comment.
I remember my first hire.
Okay.
Yeah. But we'll talk about yours.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, it hasn't happened yet. I mean, I've done some like per project things, and
okay.
I just had a chat with someone, and the vibe was real good. I feel like I can read people good enough, and as long as they're passionate,
right,
I feel good enough that I can farm them up and build them into the leader or whoever they are called to be.
Yeah,
based on their personality and how they're willing to learn. And so that's like, no matter what, like that's what I do for my team at church too.
Right.
And it's like, as long as you're passionate.
You do have experience with leadership.
Yeah.
Based off of those things. Yeah.
Yep. And that's what I'm modeling when I'm coming over here to the business realm, is I'm actually taking a lot of these teachings that I've learned from church. And it's not just from doing it either. We had a really good program that we went into all these trainings. So shout out Sean Petrie and Mac Lake. Like, this is the guy that like wrote all the systems and the processes and have one-to-ones, do this, like to really help with the structure and routine and expectations and all this for team building. So Mac Lake, he's actually, if anybody is in this world, you know that song that's going on the radio right now that's like, 'cause I'm freely hands to the ceiling abandoned, or something like that. It's called Abandoned.
Is it a Christian song?
Yeah.
Okay. Nope.
Well, anyways,
I'm not saying nope, like no, I don't like it, but I haven't heard it.
But anyone out there that you've heard that, Brandon Lake helped write that. That is Mac Lake's son. This is the guy that helped teach us all. Wow. And so he's like really, really good, really credible. If you have a church and you happen to be listening, go seek out these resources. That's
pretty cool.
But it's good for team. So I'm excited.
We hire our first person, right? As an entrepreneur, you want to scale, you're going to have to start building a team around you. The question is who do I hire? So we talked about like that with you, right? Like identifying the areas where your efforts are bottlenecked.
Yeah.
And if those bottlenecked efforts are super important and we have to unclog it, like what would be the best fit for what would be the best, fit to do that? So is it an office admin? Is it a technician if you're in the blue collar job? Is it an editor for you? Is it another realtor if you're in the real estate game? For me, I hired a technician first.
Okay.
And I was already so far behind answering phones and all that kind of stuff. I hired a technician first. I realized I had to spend more time on the job sites because I was training this person.
Oh, yeah.
So the first one didn't work out. Turned out the best hire for me was an admin.
Okay.
The one to answer the phones, call people back, follow up on pending estimates, schedule jobs in the CRM, be all the contacted points so I can just show up to the job and get it done and train another technician. So that for me was the best first hire. But I just remember the first hire, even that it didn't work out, like I was nervous. Like, are they not going to think that my business is legit? Because we were working from our house.
Oh, yeah.
So the first interview was at Panera down the street. You know what I mean? Like it was like that. But it was a great experience because it forced me literally, like in those moments, it forced me to say, okay, I need to start looking and acting like somebody who others want to follow and be led by. And so like even then in my head, like I just started changing and maturing in my heart based off of the fact that I had to hire somebody.
Okay.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Right. So I was nervous, excited at the same time.
I was looking back at one of our episodes too, and we started. There was a clip that I was working on for this podcast, and it's when we were starting to think of, instead of what or a task or how, we started thinking of who.
Oh.
And I'm like,
there's a book called Who Not How.
Yeah, that's what you said in the clip.
Oh.
So, hey, he's saying it again because you might not have heard it.
I think it's Michael Gerber. I think he's the author.
Okay.
But I read that book, and it was very powerful. Now, like,
did that have to do with team? Because it seems like it would be. Like,
it has to do with team, yes, but like as an entrepreneur, we tend to try to do everything ourselves. Like you're a very artistic person, and you're blessed to be in a business of something and doing something that you're actually passionate and actually like doing.
Yeah.
Right? Some entrepreneurs are opportunists. They buy into a franchise because they see a way to make money.
Okay.
Or they might not like what they do, but there's an opportunity to make money, so they go off and do it on their own. And so what happens is they do everything themselves. But a lot of times we complain about the results we're not getting, or if we're getting a lot of money, but we have no time to enjoy it because we're doing everything. Then the question is there something that I'm doing that I should be giving to somebody else to do it better, and which will free up my time, that way I can bring more value to my business? So it's not always a question of what else should I do. It's who should I find to do this for me?
Yep.
Like marketing, for example. A lot of business owners like literally try to create their own website, do their own social media, and they're in an industry that has nothing to do with that. So let's say you're in construction.
Yeah.
And you're trying to do your own stuff. It's like you're probably wasting a lot of time doing that.
Yep. Because now there's another hat you're wearing.
Hire a professional to do that, and you'll probably get better results faster.
Yeah.
Right?
And most of the time we try to do it ourselves because we don't have the funds.
Right.
But what does it end up costing you in the opportunity time? You know, like opportunity cost, but opportunity time. Like,
well, we all have a dollar value to our hours. And it's a lot more than you think too, as an entrepreneur. Like, I like what I think Mark Cuban said this, like, if you think you're worth less than $1,000 an hour as an entrepreneur, like, you have it all wrong. And so if you are worth $1,000 an hour and you're trying to do office admin stuff, and you can easily hire somebody at $17 an hour, $20 an hour for that, and you can free up 3 hours a day to go out there and network and find people that can literally pay you to do what you do.
Oh.
Like, the trade-off when I say it like that sounds like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But then what holds us up is, well, I don't have the money to pay $17 an hour. It's like, well, you also don't have the money to not get working or do what you're supposed to be doing, you know?
Yeah.
So.
And there's a little bit of taking a leap to hire people, and it's like, well, aren't they supposed to help bring in more anyways?
Yeah.
So, like, it might not make total sense at the beginning because you're in this wonderland of you don't know.
Right.
But then it's like, try it.
Well,
right?
Can I use your example
during
our coaching session? Like, we were talking about who comes first, and we had good reasons for both.
Yeah.
Right? An editor will help you edit your videos and have a 1 or 2 day turnaround at most. Which right now, like, depending on how busy you are, you're turning it around in a few days, maybe a week or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's like 2 to 4 weeks, average.
Which is still industry-wise, like, that's not horrible.
Yeah, that's actually really good industry-wise.
If your unique value proposition can be like, dude, we are so fast and so efficient and so good, you know, people might pay you a premium just to get a great video at a quicker turnaround time.
Yeah, because, well, exactly. Because what I've found that everyone values, believe it or not, is time.
Well, I think
so
Amazon
I want to come in.
Amazon and the microwave trained us.
Oh, yeah.
Right, to get things fast. But my point is we had good reasons for both. An editor to help you turn things around, or an admin to help you just work on projects better and network, because those are the two things you're great at.
Yep.
Networking means you're bringing in more business. Editing means you can get faster turnaround times.
Yeah.
The admin could actually also help you call the leads that have, like, call back leads that inquired.
Yep.
Follow up on pending estimates. bill so that way you're not waiting for money because you forgot to bill, right? So there's good things to both.
Right.
And the thing was like, dude, just freaking choose something.
Yep.
They're both going to help you make more money faster, right?
It's like when you're at the ice cream shop and there's just so many options that you don't choose, or like
I just like get a few flavors and just mix them up.
Okay. Well, that's what I'm doing here. I'm getting a few flavors.
There you go. Have you ever? Oh, dude, have you ever been to like a Quick Trip or a gas station on a road trip, and then you get soda, and then you get all the sodas in there?
Yeah.
They're called Suicide or something like that?
Yep. I don't think they call it that anymore because that's like a hot term now.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about that. We're not talking political stuff here.
I'm just saying.
I know.
Like if you ask someone nowadays what that's called.
What is it?
I don't remember.
I have no idea.
I don't remember.
Do you guys know what it is when you go to a gas station and just get a soda bottle or a cup and put all the sodas in there? In our age, it was called Suicide.
It was, yeah.
I didn't think nothing of it.
Because someone else said it the other day, and I was like, what? What are you talking about? Oh, okay.
That's crazy. So the cool thing, though, about building your team is it forces us to be leaders, right? So, like, your team, if you choose them right and you get the right people around you, they help you buy your time back at a discount, right?
Okay.
That's how I call it.
Yeah.
Because if you're worth $1,000 an hour and you're doing all that work, you're paying somebody $1,000 an hour of perceived money to do it. Or you could pay somebody $17 to $25 an hour, depending on their skill, to do it. And now you just bought your time back at a discount.
Boom, bam, baby.
Boom, bam. But I see a lot of people who hire people and just say, figure it out. Or in essence, this is what we do it. And then that person's just like, what do I do?
Okay, and they had no idea and they just threw them in.
Yeah, and every once in a while, like, I thank God for my first admin. As a matter of fact, I flew her out to Kansas City just to work for me again.
Oh,
yeah,
Rachel?
Because she filled her time with the other company after we sold it. They loved her. She got married and came out here, so it was kind of cool. But anyways.
And then he moved out here.
Pretty cool guy. My best friend now. So, so it was like, I'm thankful for her because she was like, I threw her in the fire. I had no idea how to lead. I had no systems. I had no checkoff list. I had no manual on how to do things. She actually helped me build that.
That's what I'm thinking too. It's like if I lead them to lead the future people, it's now regenerative, or it's
right.
What do you call that? Developing.
Yeah, I had to come up she had to sit me down and be like, okay, look, tell me the basics of what to do. I'll type it out. I was like, bet.
Okay.
She came up with a table of contents with my coach's advice, and then I told her, keep me accountable 1 or 2 hours a week. Find some time for me. I'll sit down. I'll just say everything that we do, and she could type it out. I'm like, this is easy. Because I was struggling with creating systems and just looking at a blank piece of paper and saying, what do I write down? I knew what to do for my business. It's just when it comes to doing it, if you don't have a structure on how to do it.
Yeah.
Or somebody to help, in my case.
And it is hard.
I have a ADHD without the disorder, right? I don't call it a disorder.
Right.
I call it hyper focus on what I like and screw the rest. That's what I call it. Right?
Yeah.
That's ADHD right there.
Why does nailing something good and then screwing's bad? That's what I thought the other day. Anyways, that's in the mind of Jared. But
in the mind, look.
All right, move on.
Move on from that one. So like hiring actually forced me to figure out how to be a great leader.
That's good.
In my journey of learning how to lead, I screwed a lot of things up. I thought leadership was just delegating and bossing people around. Yeah, that doesn't work too well.
Hey, at least you had the delegating part. Some people, that's the hardest part.
Well, I think I was more so abdicating.
Oh.
Like, here, I don't want to see it until it's done.
Yeah, there's delegating and there's
no
dumping.
Yeah, there's dumping. And there was no, like, guidance on what to do. It was like, can you figure this out for me? Because I have no patience to do it. And some things are actually okay to do that. But, like, when it comes to, like, things that only I know, like, I have to sit there and I have to guide. I have to coach. I have to influence. I have to do all those things. So, yeah. Pretty fun stuff.
That's all fun. Like, what's your best like piece of advice that you would tell yourself in the past
Ooh.
about team or leadership?
Dang it. I ask people this all the time, and I'm not prepared to say my own.
What would make you prepared?
Oh, shoot. I forgot the title of this book, but it's by John C. Maxwell.
Okay.
The something invaluable laws of leadership or something like that. 13 invaluable laws of leadership.
Is it orange?
I think it's green.
Oh, I have like an orange one of him about leadership.
John C. Maxwell, leadership. It's the laws of leadership with something in the beginning, but the greatest takeaway was leadership is your ability to influence. If I learned that from the beginning, I would literally be able to talk everybody into doing what I want them to do. The ability to influence. Like,
Okay.
leadership,
Because what I would tell myself is vision, like share the vision.
that's influence.
And so, yeah, it aligns.
Yeah. Well, you have to be able to share the vision. You don't have to be like a rah person, but
Yeah.
if you could talk to the people about the vision you have for your company.
And the why they're
And the
doing what they're
why.
doing, how it's helping people, because that fuels them.
Yeah, they want to buy into something greater than themselves.
I am convinced that like you'll burn out if you forget why you're doing what you're doing.
Oh, dude.
But if you
100%.
never forget why, you don't burn out. At least for me, my personality, I've been serving at my church nonstop for a long time.
Yeah.
No burnout, zero from
Wow.
me.
I hated ministry. Not because I hate ministry. I just hated working in ministry.
There has been a time in another church where it felt like that because it felt like a job and there was less vision for it. But then
Okay, I
once
can see
I
that.
got behind why and built the live stream team, and it's like my passion aligns with something that I really believe
Yeah.
in. Now it's like
Okay.
unstoppable.
I can see that. Yeah. Because you have a vision that's connected to your purpose and inspirations.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And
So-
it's hard
and-
to burn out. Like you
Yeah.
could still burn out, but it's harder to burn out,
Yeah.
right? Like you have a higher capacity for that because it's something you're passionate about. It
Yep.
inspires you. So, but back on leadership equals influence. You said like share the vision, share the culture, share the core values, right? Like if that's something you don't have and you want to start building a team, get on that. Get a clear vision for the company, get core values because
Yep.
you start to influence by really explaining those things.
And you can get with Coach Joe to help develop that. Dude, he's really good
I
at
can
it.
definitely help you with that.
Plus,
for sure.
you gave me a book that I would recommend to anybody that
yeah.
is of faith, and it's called The Christ-Centered Company.
Right. That's a powerful
Read
book,
this one and follow what it's saying. It is so good.
It is great. It is great.
And I'm not a reader.
But you read that book.
Yeah, I'm still going through it, but yeah.
Nice. Oh, it took you a long time.
Well, I'm doing
all
Audible,
Oh, that's right.
and I'm leading other people through it.
Dude, that book is powerful. I've given it to so many like faith-based business owners that I coach.
It's good.
But this is what tripped me out when John C. Maxwell said this in his book. A good leader can influence. Now, good leaders don't necessarily look the way we think. Like Hitler was actually a good leader.
Yeah.
He was able to influence a population to do horrendous things to another population.
Yeah.
You know, the communist leaders, Stalin, Lenin, Mao Zedong, all those people, they were able to influence people to do horrible things to other people. Right? But they were able to influence that. Why were they able to make a huge movement? They were able to influence. They mastered the art of influence through manipulation and lies. Well, can we influence our team in a very integral way?
Yeah.
To get them to buy into a vision that we have, why we're doing it. Because let's face it, if you're a small business and you're hiring your first 1 to 3 people, you might be thinking, there's nothing attractive about my business to get these people excited. Well, you might be right, but if it's not attractive, how can you create something attractive to them that will inspire them? That will inspire them to really want to help you grow. Because these people, if you find them right, they can actually help you grow your business.
Yeah. One of my core values is people over products. And I know I'm a service-based industry, but I call that the product. And so whatever we're doing, you got to see the person over what we're providing.
Yeah.
And you see them, but it goes the same way to the team. So it's like whatever task and thing that they're supposed to be doing with these expectations, I still am seeing a person before I'm seeing what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
You know, because I want to believe in them. I want to be that person.
Yeah. I had a client, I think a week ago, he was really having a hard time letting go of a team member who didn't want to buy into the vision, a team member who didn't want to do the team meetings because he's like, F this, I just want to get in and get out. I've worked my whole life. 60-year-old guy, been doing this for a long time. But then the person who I'm coaching started crying. He's like, I just want to help people and help them understand. I'm like, dude, love your beautiful heart. That's why you have to let him go for the rest of the people. I didn't tell him that. I had to coach him into figuring that out. But still, like, I don't know why I started saying that, but still, it was.
I would hope you would keep me accountable for that too, and that's why I got you in place for accountability and that sake.
Yeah.
I have thought of that though, and like you got to realize all the perspective. Like, this team member, you get like people over product, but it's like, dude, if this person being gone helps the rest of the team and culture, that is more important.
Exactly, and those are some of the hardest decisions to do as a leader. But in essence, that influences the rest of the team to actually perform better because they're thinking it. They just don't want to tell you most of the time.
But that's where like KPI, performance meetings, all that can help come into play, right?
It could. And if you have a strong vision, you have great core values, and the core values are really powerful. It really helps people understand how they should be acting. And then you have clear boundaries, clear job descriptions, clear performance indicators, clear action indicators. Like, literally, you won't have to do much because there's so many measurable things that will hold them accountable to what they do that it's like, look, there's all these things that you didn't hit, and these are mentioned, trained on, mentioned again, you signed it. Like, I don't want you to go, but based off of this, you kind of have to. Instead of you having to kind of figure out what to tell them because you don't have all that stuff in place. And I don't have a problem firing people. I just don't like it. If I don't have to fire somebody, I wouldn't want to. But it makes it easier for me to fire people because if I have all that in place, I'm not firing you. Core values did.
Yeah.
I'm not firing you. Your job description did. I'm not firing you. You missed every single KPI, and we actually gave you 2 chances. So the KPIs, the value, the vision, it fired you. It's not me. It's you.
Yeah. And it's probably what's best for them anyways. Like it's more opportunity for them to go off and do something more fitting for them.
Yeah, absolutely. So building a team is exciting. It's nerve-wracking at the same time because you're dealing with many, many people. And especially if you like to control, you got to really keep that under wraps. Like, if you have a team and you micromanage, they're going to think, well, why do you need us? Why do you need us, right? So we could put so much more into this podcast.
Yeah.
But
speaking
I just
of
think
team,
it was excited to talk about it because like you were so excited about this potential new team member.
Yeah.
It brought memories back for me of like the first person I hired.
Yeah. I'm like, man, it wasn't even going to be an interview. It was just going to be a chat and here's what editing's like.
Yeah.
But it was like, oh, he would be a good fit. I got a project I need some assistance and time back from this and let's start. What do you think? Like,
yeah.
And it's like,
well, I'm excited for you.
I'm excited. I got like a list of like 6 people that are on a Post-it note because of like.
If you don't know Jared, his best systems are Post-it notes.
Right now, well,
they're all hanging on your desk.
I'm a digital person, but then I started thinking of the future of team and stuff, and some of the digital systems I was in weren't like a way that you can translate it to other people. And so I was like, oh, okay, let's go to the good old whiteboard stuff, at least for a little bit. And so I do both and I'm digital, but
I just think it's funny.
Put that for a visual.
Such a tech nerd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
well, it's like, can I tell you the real reason?
Have like Post-it notes. Yeah.
The real reason is out of sight, out of mind.
Seriously.
So it's like
if you don't open up your laptop or what,
like I can write a note for the core 5 things that I'm supposed to be doing, but if I print it out and then put it on my monitor, now I got the core 5 things staring at me.
No, I think old school stuff like that works for that specific reason.
Otherwise, you need to get a big LED screen has a custom UI that like automatically updates versus you know.
Okay, that sounds pretty attractive, though.
That's pretty cool, but
That does sound pretty cool.
I want to get there.
Are we going to park that goal?
Yeah. Because
Dang it, now you want me to get a big old LCD screen. Thanks.
Well, you got a TV. You could start there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Now let's move this project from here to here.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I still got to park it because there's a lot I want to do.
And you have HubSpot. I'm sure you could automate certain things.
I'm pretty sure
if you track opportunities and you move it when you move it over here in the pipeline.
Just slide it over. Boom, boom.
And then it auto updates your UI over here on your computer. Guys, if someone you know someone that's a developer that could develop this.
I know a lot of people.
It probably
like
exists
exciting
too.
me and hurting my head at the same time thinking about it.
Yeah, all right, whatever. Okay.
But anyways, look, we want to hear kind of your story. I mean, if you could take this opportunity, if you're watching this, to go in the comments and talk about your experience hiring your first person, maybe some of the leadership tricks that you've learned. And when I say tricks, I'm not talking about like just yell at somebody and demand. I'm talking about like, you know, we're dealing with a different generation now of people that need to be led, empowered, and coached. Whether we like it or not, you know?
People nowadays like having purpose and towards a cause over just money.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. We'd love to hear from you. Like, you could do comments. I think you could do voice, right?
No, I think that's going away. See, Anchor has updated. That's what we use for our podcast. And
okay. But
I think that part's going away.
I would love to be able to get a story and like read it out loud on the podcast.
Yeah.
That would be so awesome.
You can always, like, if you're someone that has our personal numbers, then you can always voice message those if you want. Because that would be cool. We can include it in this. All right.
All right, dude.
Well, your wife is calling. My
wife is calling. So him and I have hot dates, not with each other, with our wives. I'll make that clear. But still, that's important.
Because that's the best team of all.
That's the best team of all. And we have to nurture and lead that thing well. So anyways, guys, stay strong.
Yep. And keep on keeping on.